you are. You're sitting in your boss's office. It's just you and he. And he says, hey, I'm sorry. We have got to let you go. And you're like, cool. So we're not employees anymore. We're not working together, right? So we can go out. That's exactly what she did last time we talked to her. That's exactly what she did. She got fired, and on the way out, she's like, oh, that's cool. Hey, you want to go out? And he wasn't that opposed to it.
That's what Audrey wanted, and she called us for advice, and she was like, yeah, I'm getting called into a meeting in like 20 minutes, and I'm pretty sure I'm going to get fired. And we're like, why? And she's like, because I suck at my job. And we're like, okay. And she's like, but after I get fired, I want to fraternize.
Didn't she say that she was surprised it took so long to get fired? In this
Yes.
thing?
Yeah, she was very much like, I have sucked for so long. Why did it take them this long to fire me? But she's like, after I get fired, if that's what's happening, I kind of want to hit on my boss. We're not supposed to fraternize, but I've never wanted to fraternize so much in my life. Am I saying that right?
Fraternize? Yeah.
Okay.
It's working.
It feels good, but it also sounds bad. So she was like, I'm going to hit on my boss right afterwards. And we were all like, how do you know this is going to work out in your favor? Like, if you're getting fired, that's probably like, they don't like you. And she's like, well, he's always very forgiving of the mistakes I make. So that could be flirting, or that could just be like, oh my God, I can't wait until we fire this broad.
Or he just feels really, really sorry for her.
Or we just need more of a paper trail.
Yes. Yeah. So she's like, he's very forgiving, and I got a vibe, and I think there's sexual tension, and blah, blah, blah. So we were like, okay, well, I mean, go for it. And then she went in there, and then she came back out 20 minutes later and was like, I got fired. And she was all happy, and we're like, what is wrong with you? And she's like, well, I did the thing. And I said, now that we're not working together, like, maybe you can buy me a drink, because you just fired me. And I think that's where we left off. We were like, oh my God, they're going to go out.
I think he was saying like, hey, we can't do this immediately.
Yeah.
But let's give it a little space, and then maybe we can.
Would you find an employee that sucks attractive?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If she's hot enough.
Right. We can separate the two if she's hot enough.
Men can compartmentalize well.
And women would say the same thing about dudes.
I would think so.
Okay.
Depends on how hot you are.
Right.
All right, the update. Hey, Bert Show. I literally think I am the only person in the world to be this happy to have been fired. He and I went out the other night, and it was fantastic. It was by far the most enjoyable evening I've had in so long. It definitely was one of the best first dates I've ever had. It was also so nice to get to know him in a totally different environment. I thought I was attracted to him before, but it's nothing compared to how I feel now that I've gotten to know him in a less professional way. I think he feels the same way about me. He admitted that he had always found me attractive and wanted to ask me out for quite some time. He said that he had such mixed feelings about having to let me go. He knew that he would have the freedom to ask me out, but he wasn't sure how I would feel about him after he fired me. It's fair. We both just laughed about the situation. He also said he wanted to help me find another job. I told him that I had some opportunities lined up and would never ask for his help. I don't want to create any kind of conflict of interest. I don't want any situation that could mess up what we might potentially have going. As for a second date, we're going out again on Monday night. He had already asked me to go to a party with him next weekend. So I think he's already assuming things are headed in a good direction with us. Thank you so much for giving me the courage to ask him out. Honestly, I probably would have chickened out if I didn't know you were waiting for an update. So thank you.
So I think initially this dude was like doing the right thing by going, okay, let's just like hold off for a little bit. I don't want anybody to be able to track this back to the office and say it was an HR problem. But he didn't wait all that long. It was just a couple of days.
Well, I'm sure he was relieved because he wanted to ask her out that entire time, and in his mind probably thought it was an impossible situation. Like, she'll never go for that. And then she asked him. So I'm sure in his mind it was like, wow.
But HR-wise, couldn't you still get in trouble even if the person is unemployed at that point? But there clearly you could assume there was some kind of chemistry going on in the office before that gave her more of an advantage?
You think they should wait until her severance is up?
I don't know.
How long do you want him to wait?
You need him to wait 3 months until the severance is done?
I think HR would be like apprehensive if he went out too soon because she could press charges and say that she was fired because he was attracted to her. But I'm pretty sure she'd be shooting herself in the foot because she went out on the date,
Right.
So I think they're all safe. in HR terms.
And we have all of this in writing, so if HR needs it,
Right.
Are we going to do that? Would we tell on Audrey?
We have evidence now.
Yeah.
We are witnesses to this whole thing. So, okay. So it all worked out, and she played it right because we had one earlier this morning also where it was kind of a work thing, and she wasn't real sure if it was cool to date. She wasn't sure if there was chemistry or not, but this one worked out.
In the years you've been doing this show, has the Bert Show ever been served in order to for any type of
HR?
No, not HR. I'm just saying, like, legally, has the Bert Show ever got papers and got served because you needed to participate in some kind of like lawsuit or
Don't
whatever?
put that out there.
Right.
For something that's
sorry,
been on
I'm
the.
just curious.
See it, it'll happen.
You find some wood to knock on.
I've got
Yeah, right.
I've got
Yeah.
a few cease and desists
Yeah.
myself, but that's about it.
We've been running pretty clean up until
Yeah.
now.
Well, you're welcome, because 2022 is going to be the year.
Right. They're going through you.
The Bert Show.